Hello and welcome. It is currently 8:52 a.m. and it is the 18th day of January 2021. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and within the well, that's your own risk and your own reward. And for myself, risk reward management is always job number one. In this video, I want to make a really good show of this, if you want to call it a show. But what I'm going to be covering is Bitcoin. Then I'm going to transition into that of Litecoin against the three different markets for Litecoin, or against three different cryptos, or not really dollar. That's not a crypto. I guess Tether could be, but it's not. But against the dollar, against the Bitcoin, and against the Theta. Those will be the Litecoin charts, and then after that, I'll be done with charts. I'll be switching into spreadsheets, and I'll be talking about ratio trading, going over situations, because as long as markets go up and down like in a range like this, you can buy high, sell or buy low rather, and sell high, and just increase your holdings through time, and it can get great within compounding gain. But when something goes straight up or straight down, that can be problematic, and I'm going to go over that after I've done that, and then I'm going to use a spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet that I've just quickly started up with would be, you'd start off with two coins, and I'm just going to put some miscellaneous whatever type trades in. And then a situation of make an insert name trade. Would you do it in a spot like that? Because that's what I'm going to be talking about as I move into Litecoin, because I'm going to be considering a Litecoin versus Theta trade within a strategy that I'm going to go over. And then I'm back to the charts, but I'll be talking about fantasy sports and other things as well at the end of this video, and how much I'm a spreadsheet geek and how much I love computer programming. But I'm not that good at it, but I'm damn good at it. I'll explain why at the end. All right, so interesting period here. 3 days ago at 9 o'clock, and it's almost 9 o'clock as I'm doing this, 8:55 now. How much time has been spent above and below the line? More above, but not even that much above. It almost hit the line down in here, close, piercing above. And then a couple of periods, but not much time. Oh, it actually supported this for a good amount of time, but not since. Trying to now, maybe. Then this is that little bit of time down there, not much. And failing to resist here at the exact level, but piercing less and supporting. And now we've pierced extra. Still in the range. No clear signs yet it's going to break it. And it still has further upside to the upper end of this range, which would be anything below 38,000, and even piercing above. Anything below 38,000, then even at 38.2, 38.1, it's a pierce above this level, still within range. But it's holding in there really well. And as this range goes, this is 61.8% and 38.2% from the high and the low of the sell-off that occurred. And if the sell-off is a real one, and I mean real as in on the further, I mean it's going to make at least one more noticeably decent leg lower, then it's unlikely to have great momentum above this, and this would be a fantastically huge failed breakout now. And it's just going to have its down move, and you're going to be looking at things, and I'll get to the longer term time frames, but on the daily term, you would break down below the 18 lows and be talking about correcting. Now, the Fibonacci will now be from much bigger range or a much smaller lows, the exact same highs, but much lower lows. I have to decide, which lows do I do? Do I do the breakout lows here? Do I do the lows near 6,000, which is probably where I'm going to be heading towards? As far as where we came from, we still haven't been down to, we have been down to 30. No. Next previous support is 28, I suppose, from where we came from. But we're in this correctionary band on the daily as it is anyway. And then breaking out above this on the upside, 41, it's 50 to 60,000 could happen. Well, it should be concise, so relatively good chance of being fast. Let's move on next to that of Litecoin against the dollar. And there's not much data on the monthly, and the log needs to be turned on. I don't know how it was turned off before. Anyway, the movement for the this run has been just fantastic, and sideways consolidation. We're back up to this level of resistance. You can call this like a double bottom or whatever. Double bottom is like two U's, two V's. So you go down, you have a good gain. So you go down, you have a good gain. Then you go back down and you have a tremendously bad move by not holding where you came from, because you pretty much came back to where you came from. Or not holding where you came from. Oh, no, never, throw that aside. Not holding a 61.8 to 75% type of retracement. It pretty much goes near 100%, which means we're to make the previous move near here. So it kind of did this candle to this move. We already established this great move of resistance, which was kind of predetermined. However, throw that aside because this is Fibonacci from this low to this high, 61.8%. So it resistance. Therefore, for this selling from point high to point low to be real, it needs to hold and stay below. So far it has done that, but there has been very poor downward momentum since the bottom, and the bottom of where I'm holding December 01, the first time it came down to $30. It had a big move down, but again, it only retraced near 100%. Thus not making a leg lower, and near 100% piercing higher from previous low. So we come up to the 18 and it doesn't break down as we see the red candle in here on June the 1st. And even this, it doesn't even go down below 18 average of lows, but it did go to the 18 highs. And this is what would happen in a bear market, is you'd have a spot, if it were to have this July and August rally. Okay, you have this red candle down. So we got a further down move. We're going to have a sideways move. 1, 2, 3 periods later, start to weaken the 18, then the 18 slowly start to decline. Well, right now the 18 is slowly starting to rise. So it's the opposite. And it's the attempt to break through this thing. And I really do believe this is going to come in, because you have your first attempt, oh, nope, get some more energy. And then I just think it has the energy to get it done. Big support now is going to be in the range of between 65. I'm going to see this further with a shorter term, but 65 just in this little decent higher low area. But I don't know if it's going to even do that. It looks like we're going to have a big clear cut move to next level of over 200. And we're going to see why with each one of the 4 hours is just 1 hour, I think, is the beautifulest ones. But hey, we'll get there in a bit. We can see we come up to this Fibonacci, break above it, then make a move to the 18 average of highs. We go below Fib, but I mean, we pretty much hold it. On the daily chart, and even here you can see 1 day on January the 11th. And we came up to this point on Christmas, or December 26th, so Christmas, Boxing Day, and the entire rest of the year up until the day after New Year's, and even until the day after that even. It didn't break out until the 3rd of January. So it breaks out, taking about a week to get to the high, and then a couple days to go down, and then going sideways nicely as it is for what's been 6 days, but it's been holding this level. Support. Congestion. It's congesting at this level because we've resisted it. We've been supporting it. And we had this little move in here. Now, the better synopsis is, well, I could say resistance and support again. Support because, well, how much resistance has it had since it broke on the 2nd and 3rd? It hasn't really had any. Okay, yeah, support. But I can look at this on resistance in the form of, I define resistance in market trading as the inability for the market to no longer go higher, thus the uptrend to stop. Do we have a rising 18 moving average? Yes or no? The answer is no. It's flat. But the 18 average of lows is above price action. I mean, it would be fantastic if, say, the 18 average of lows was, say, at like 125 and the highs was at like 150. I'd be, oh my goodness, that's well. That just shows to me how fantastic this move really was. And how, if this, I'm thinking this now for the first time. Do I grade $200 as weak resistance? I almost think I should. And normally, I got it, and I will. The next factor, it's at 76.4 level. Generally speaking, if you're having a battle with one of these levels like this, and you have a monstrous pierce in play like this, it seems like a huge pierce extra, I usually see when we come up to the next level that it goes to the next after that. which would then be 400. So we'll see how that goes. And 420, really, that was previous high. Because after 76.4, I'm looking at previous high for long-term analysis. Now, for short-term analysis, I would not be looking at previous high from 4 hour on. My key levels after the 200 would be, 85% was 0.764 multiply 0.61 8. No. 0.236 multiply 0.618. One subtract that number. That would be the exponent I would use. Okay, I'm just doing math. Yeah, I can't remember what the Fibonacci number was, so that's why I made it complicated. Anyway, 4 hour term time frame. There's a resistance. And it had a decent amount of time there. And then even here, you can see a 3 or 4 periods, whatever, yada-yadaing it. Great uptrend here. And huge move. And then from the big fall, short-term collapse at only. It's not even a collapse, but yeah, you can call it that. I guess a lot of margin traders could get screwed over on that. But when you look at the number games, 185 down to 111, how do you do? And support. And the fact that it's 180 to 111, how do you do? What's 180 divided by 110? 1 point high number? That's a decent sized move. Therefore, the play out from this sideways range, should match such. Another reason why I'm going to be giving difficult reason to have nothing more than weak resistance at $200. That doesn't mean I'm not going to be selling there. In fact, when I move on, I'm hoping to sell like today for us if this thing can pop up to like 156, 158. And that all depends on what theta does too. I'll get to that in a little bit. 1 hour term time frame. Yeah, this is just monstrous. Price action has came up to this high. We've had a lot of the support here. We broke this resistance level just recently at like 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock, whatever, 7 o'clock. And then it's at it now. It's testing it, but it's literally gotten over this resistance because what's next after this? Oh, this resistance. It hasn't got to the top of the end, but it has got to where it really did resist during this 8 or 9 period run. Okay, Fibonacci is huge from, and when you're looking at, do I do Fibonacci from key high, what lows, breakout lows, big lows, this is this a little smaller than this. Breakout lows, when do you use breakout lows? The answer is now, but big volume tells you need to do it. And how do you want to pick the right accurate number? And I'll give you some numbers to start with and see how they play out. And if the highs change, just adjust the mathematics, which is the new high, whatever the new high happens to be, to this low. And the low it's going to be 139.66. But when you look at this, when did this thing start breaking out? Well, it broke out right in here, which you can see is 139.66. So what we do is high divided by low. Now, if you did linear Fibonacci here, you're pretty much going to get near the same numbers because what's high divided by low here? 154 divided by 139. That's like 1.1 something. So it's a good exercise to run. Take a Fibonacci level like this. This is going to be high divided by low. So we're going to go, what's the exact high in here? What is it, 155 even? Yeah, no. Normally on a calculator, I would type 155. But because I want pennies and I made this program to round for me, that's why I'm putting 2 zeros in. So it's 15,500 pennies for a Litecoin. Or that's how much it costs for 100 of them. So these lows in here, this is the breakout lows. Normally I would usually always grade these ones higher than that. But I would always like this one better than that. But this is where the big breakout move started. And now one could say maybe you do it from this level. And before I want to verify where the actual breakout did start. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it right here instead. The low is 140.04. So 140 is pretty much a good accurate number. Just do 155 divided by 140. And then if you do high subtract low, which would be dollar term, 155 would be $15. And then you multiply it by these percentage lows. And then you add the low of 140, your numbers will be relatively close to this. Key numbers. And let me just quickly go back so I can see better what I'm calculating. Okay, it's Fibonacci from low to high. Yeah. Okay. Key numbers. 76.4. So 151.32. So I'm looking at the market, and I could be looking at this as it is at like 151, 152. Okay, let's calculate 152 to 150 to 140. Nope, 153 to 140. No, obviously 155 is right now is the yes. So I realize if I'm looking for any type of support on the first move on the very short term, I'm looking at 151 and a third. Let's see how 151 and a third has done. That's only luck. The fact that it's supporting like this is only luck. Yada, yada, yada. Now, obviously, if you see a downtrend line, you got Fibonacci from this high to this low. So if you can see on the 61.8% very short term, and this is just short term analysis teaching only, that it can break out, then yeah, it's ready to go. So that's how you turn like a long-term trading into the most 1 minute term time frame, I suppose. And of course, when you're doing 1 minute trading, that's stuff you should know. Anyway, your next key level is below that. If this support doesn't hold, I'm looking at 149. Then after that, the must hold area is 145 and a half. But I hope this goes off. I really do. Please go Litecoin. Anyway, Litecoin against Bitcoin is next. And I'm going to spend a lot less time on this one. Just going to breeze through this mainly. So 1 minute, let's just go up to the hour. I mean, this is that fantastic move. Maybe I'll just do quickly look at the 15. But yeah, pretty much the same thing. So it's having that breakout within the hour. On the 4 hour, we're really in this sideways consolidation. It's just having an attempt to get out of it and really a move to the upper end and really just strengthening in this little gap area, whatever you want to name these two periods here. Or resistance really from this low to this high. So no resistance. So we haven't tested this area yet, so maybe, and it is testing that now. So it's really got to get above that point. We also got that level that was previous support. On the daily term time frame, you just look at these up and down choppy markets. And we're at the bottom end of that up and down choppy range. So there's nothing even to believe that this thing, even longer term yet, is going to go off against Bitcoin until it can go off against these highs. But if it's going to keep the trend going, we should be seeing, I mean, the fact that it's just been doing a little bit of nothing here, we should be seeing like a quick move. We had a day here where it went up 14%. And then we had a move, and I have to look at like over like 4 days here, going from 42 or 420 handle to the 510 handle. So that's like 90 differential plus 20+%. So we really got to think here, at least from this area here of like under 300, 20% on that would be like getting up to like, yeah, this upper end range here. So it looks to me as if that's live to happen, but we'll see if what happens as this thing heads forward, because 4 hour term time frame, this has been making nothing more than like a downward market. But we see Litecoin's very strong against the dollar. It's just a lot of things are getting their ass kicked against Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's kicking ass big time against the dollar. And I'm going to now transition this into Litecoin against, it says Bitcoin, but Bitcoin / Theta. That's the first time I've read it like that. But it's basically how many Theta you need to buy one Litecoin. And right now it's 74 and change. It used to be over 1,000 even, and then it was stayed in a range of like 500 to 1,000, like 800 or so. Then big move here down to like where we are now, rallying up to 180. Back down to over 60 or so. And then 120 back down. It came back down to 60 again. It's been congesting in this area now for the last few weeks. And on the daily term, you can, I mean, there's just the big moves. I mean, here is a spot where it's going down like this. I'm selling Theta and I'm buying Litecoin. And then that Litecoin that I bought, I can just take portions of it and get some theta back. And if you can take advantage of small percentage moves, like I can say this gap here, the high is 134 and the low is like 114. So what's the differential of the two? 20 points. What's 20 divided by 114? Not quite 20%. So the most volatility you can make, the best you can get from this flip move is 20%. However, this was at 58. This is like 130. So we'll go like 60 to like 120 divided by, or 120 divided by 60. Well, that's greater than 2, greater than 100%, and even from high to low. Because you can't, I hit the lies, hose, and lies now more times than not, or several times. So definitely not more times than not, but several. I've just had so many times. That's when trading. 58 to 140. So 140 divided by 60. It's 2.2, decent size moves. But it's enough where you can have several trades back and forth, and then the theta that you acquire here, you can sell down here. And then you can, the best trade we had from this low to this high thus far has been from 58 again to about 88. A differential of 30 points. That's near 50%. And as this goes in here, and I can't do shorter term time frames, but I'm hoping for myself that if I can just get a 5-6% better move in Litecoin versus theta, that I can do the strategy that I'm going to basically be showing you right now with the spreadsheet. And what I've made is a quick little spreadsheet. And doing something like this is a very good exercise to just figuring out how to trade and understanding the situations. Of course, you want to be realistic within them. And of course, you can go with history as well. And I've done that oftentimes as well. I'm going to assume you have 2,500 of coin B and 100 of coin A. And the ratio is 25 to 1 when you get into it. So one way of doing it is you just put the same amount of dollars or Bitcoin or whatever base other currency amount to compare it to, and the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to assume that you're playing around and the ratio goes up to, say, 34. So what I want to do, if the ratio goes higher, that means the stronger coin would have done better. And I want to focus on inventory coin B in doing this exercise. And I've already done my formulas in here. And numbers are going to change. I'm going to put a number in here. And I didn't put the formula in yet. So let's just get that done. Equals this. Okay, this is a smaller number. So equals this multiply negative this. And copy and paste this. I don't know why I didn't do this in advance, because I thought I just got everything not like it's a big deal, but it's got everything pre-done for how I need to do it. I didn't even do a test run. I just know how to do this. So anyway, we got a situation where the market goes up to 34. What a big move that was. And even, yeah, let's say you have on coin B 2,500. Well, how many of those A do I have to sell if I want to add, say, 400? And the inventory is going to change on the right-hand side. No, it didn't. Okay, yeah. And then this should have been, actually, this is divided by. But the inventory didn't change. Why was that? That's what happens when you don't test this out. And then when you don't look at your keyboard. Okay, so basically what I need to do in here, I know why, because I changed the number of variables. Yeah, I do equals 25 plus the sum of all, like a whole bunch of numbers. And then you can say go to 29. And then this should equal this divided by negative this. No. I would be getting It's way off. It's the opposite end. It's going to be a point decimal number that's wrong. And that's because it's rounded. That's why. It's because the numbers are rounded. Equals this divided by this. And it's going to be negative. Because if I divide two negatives together, it becomes positive. And that's what I'm doing. Or, no. Anyway. So because of that, I'm just going to go like this now. I want I'm going to put the sum of this. Well, I thought it was, that was just, whatever. I'm not going to undo it after I've already done my analysis on the other video. And it's 1,000. So inventory A, coin B equals this multiply negative this. No, that's right, because I just wanted to go this to 4,000. That's what I want to do. Okay, finally, I'm sorry for all that delay. Now let's just, so what would happen here is, I'm just going to say what you would, that's not right. Let's see though. And again. Oh my goodness, why is this doing this for me? There we have it. So here's a spot where I just take an extra, it would seem like 50 minutes to do this. I'm just going to put that, just remember where we started, although I can always read it. And a reason for me to do this a little faster, but ensure that I get my information across too. So let's just assume that the ratio goes down to 26.5. And I want to flip back, say, 3450. How many would I get? Well, that wouldn't be quite as many. Why? That's 91,000. Okay. Let's go like this. Yeah, that looks better. Although the divos and whatever, we'll just get by that for now. So you get back an extra 12, and then we see, say, for example, this goes up one more time, say 33.5. Okay, well, I got back 34.50. If I sell like 31.25, or, excuse me, it would cost me 93. That's not bad. How about 34.50? If I were to gain that, it would cost me 103. If I want to gain 3,600 at 107, so let's just say, there we go. I'm going to take a little bit of both coins. Then it goes to say 25.5, and let's say I unload 34.50. Nice little gain there. Then it goes to say 20.2. I'm going to do a little less, say 28.25. But I'm getting more here. Then it just keeps going down. Now this was a big move, so maybe in something like this, I might do a double trade. Because that was just a fantastic move, going $6, like 20 to that. So normally I'd be like, okay, maybe I'll sell like 24, then 2,000. That's, how many would that be? 5,200? And wait a second, why is inventory here divided by 0? Oh. Oh, how do we fix that? try this. That'll fix it. Okay. So we have 1171 and 23,175 of inventory B. So at this stage, I mean, pretty close to the starting number, not a little below. And we have 171, which are above. So let's continue on and say you sell 2,400 and then say 22,000 even. Let's say 2,200 average. Then now I would see this number go down to 18 and this down to there. Okay, but let's say the markets have a one little rally, say 17.15, and I can go maybe gain maybe 26.50 of these coins. Oh, but that would cost me 155. So maybe I have to settle for 24.50, even 2,400. And I gain 200, I gain 14. Then the market goes down, say, to 13.11, so I might as well say unload maybe 22.50, which is a little higher on this, but most certainly lower here, and a gain of 32. But then the market comes back down again. So I got inventory of 18,000. If I'm selling, say, 2,000, that's wait a second here. Yeah, that's right. 8 and 6 look alike. 18,000 and 16,000 is where I'm at. So I got, it's a little bit of a concern. You're a little lower, but you got 700 more of the other coin. But at the same point, you've seen the price go from 25 to 10, lose more than half its value, and you still have more than half of what you started, so it's not too bad itself. And let's say you get a little another down move again. So how much do you sell here? 1,500? 1,700? Well, quite frankly, I mean, that's only 10% of what you own. Let's just say you think, okay, I'm really amazing. I think it's just time. It's just up too much on one side. I'm just going to bet 3,000. It's just down way too much. I'm going to take a big risk on that 16. And I get 369. And then it goes to 614, we'll say. Okay, well, if I go like 3,000 again, that would be pretty aggressive at 14,000 ownership. But I still don't believe this moves. I can go 2650. I got 20. I go 2.5 times more of the other coin now, and I'm at the half there. It's a little bit of a problem. Okay, we get, let's say, a rally here, say 8.25. So maybe we'll get back. Say, I want a lot back at this stage. Well, 3,300, okay. And then we have another move down. Let's just say 6, a little lower. So I can go 2,800. So I can get little small gains doing stuff like that to help me on the way down. But these things can do way, way more than 100x moves. Now I'm going to scroll this down, but I'm just going to go like this. And if you move this, then the formulas will automatically just work itself through. Where you change it to. So the ratio, let's say, goes down to say 5, or maybe not 5, that's too low, not low enough. Say 475 or 455, we'll say. So if I sell 2,400, that puts me in a difficult situation here. But that's okay. It'll go up. So let's just say it goes down to 360. Oh my goodness. Well, I've got to make some sort of trade. I'm going to trade, say, what do we do here? 18. Let's go 2,000, we'll say. One problem, it's taking me longer because I'm not aggressive enough as I could be, or I'm not doing enough time. So I have to do enough time, I suppose. So let's go up to 432. Let's say finally get a little bit of a rally. So let's try to get back 2350. We're still less than half of where we were, though. Maybe even get another small little boost up top again. That's going to happen at some point where you get So what we can do here is, okay, I've got this one done. So now I can take care of this one. So I actually had 24 lost for 527. So if I go for, like, say 2750, it only cost me 46. I can go for 2850 and I'm doing fine. So I get a little bit of help again. But then the market goes down. So I can get rid of 2500, even go 2400 because I want to short sell a little bit. I can even short sell more than I probably would, but in this example I won't. And then you'd go down, say, more to 362, and you're like, okay, I got 10,000. I can afford to do 20%, so I'll do 2,000. Then it goes down to 285. And, oh, what do I do here? Let's go 1,700, say, and that's going aggressive. But look at them. I mean, we're at like 4,000 of these other coins now. Ratio goes down to 2.215. Oh, where do we go from here? Like 1,100? I mean, this is where, I mean, come on, reverse the trend. Please reverse the trend. Thankfully, you get a good reversal here. 260. So let's, maybe you, let's do a better ratio than that, 280. And then even another down move again. Say you sell 1150 at, it won't be that price. And then have another up move, say 269. So you want to gain, say, this is where, like, man, I got to get coins back. So I want to sell like near 550. What would I get for 1,500? Oh my goodness, that's a perfect. I didn't think that would happen. Wow, that impresses me. That's just luck. Literally, I mean that one. When I say that in Fibonacci charts, I'm sarcastic when I say that. I'm not there. Wow. I mean, I'd be in the area, but still. Oh, wow. Anyway, so let's just see a bunch of choppy back and forth moves. And then the ratio goes, and I can even say goes to even another one. You get a really good one. Not 370, but 344. So we can do things like, okay, well, these cross each other out. These cross each other out. So now I can get maybe some of this. I can get another decent sized move. Maybe get 2225. But if I do that, what would it work out here? We got these cross, and on 596. Let's go for 1900. Okay, I guess I'll just settle for that. And then you get to a stage where maybe I'll do two more cross back and forth. So we'll do, say, 305. And I'm going to sell, say, you know what? This is a spot where I want to go up on this one. I want to get to where I want to go with this, because I got enough information now to do what I need to do. When you're doing cross seeding, I mean, early on, this is one way I like to do it. I'll go like this, and we can bold that. That's a cross hit. And then we can bold that, and so on and so forth. I don't want to get in the rest of the earlier ones, because you know what's happened here. You're already out 16,000 of these coins that you started with. And even another trade now is only going to get you, what, a couple thousand plus more, 2,400 more. You're still going to be still less than half more off. I mean, I'm not saying you want to rush it, but just want an interesting strategy if you're doing things like, say, crossing off this together. Like this was, we'll bold this because that's a planted and harvested seed. As is this. That was planted and harvested. But this one is as well. Now what I could do is I could take this data here And I just need this in here. I don't need the prices. And then get the sum of these coins. So I've gained 92 of these coins. And I guess I don't have enough data. And how much of this? 750. I'm not going to do a whole bunch more. I'm just going to explain it. Let's just hypothetically assume you have a lot more trades showing up above. And in the real world, I do. And you're in a situation where, well, especially, I guess I didn't show one of it. So, well, I guess it was at a more aggressive level. A situation where I made a lot. Well, basically, I have a lot of Litecoin that I made. So my average trade, when I did this number, I mean, it's long story short, when I did this ratio of a whole bunch of recent trades, and it's only actually about 8 of them, actually, really. It's just the percentage moves were pretty big, too. That I have about 150%, 140%, 130% of the average Litecoin trade that I've been doing lately. So this is hypothetically assumed that over a bunch of periods of time, because I guess I could do it further if I do this and this, I could increase the number higher. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bunch of trades, and let's assume there was that of 450 of them, or 480 of them, or 600 of them, 700 of them, that I've gained in a period of time. What I'll do is I'll take a portion of the gain, so a portion of the combination of 9, 10, 12 seeds, or however many it may be, then acquire the coin, and then concern myself. I don't like using the word worry. I like concerned better than worry. But I want to be concerned about this move at a later time frame, and then I can get better percentage gains on top of that one as well for any type of moves. And it also just helps me out increase my inventory for the one that I really need help with. Now, of course, by doing such, I could take those extra bits, like say in this case for Litecoin versus Theta, sell it now. Litecoin goes up big in the next little while with Theta, and I could have got a better deal later. But you know what? There's Let's Make a Deal. It was a pretty interesting game show. It just kind of not the opposite of advanced level that I like, and it's kind of kiddish in a way. And while I'm at 42 minutes and I'm already here, I might as well go over some cool stuff that I like to do with spreadsheets. What I do is I'm a daily fantasy player. So what I do is I take the data of every game. So I copy and paste this in here. Now this is an ID number, and I just replace that with the date. This is the place they finish in. This is the username. And I have to do a quick little thing to just separate brackets. This is how many lineups they played, people. So this is lineup 1 of 2. This is me, AG47. And then I insert this. This is how many people played the game, 886. And then this is the kind of game it was. I have 3 kinds of games: good, bad, and neutral. And then computer programming over there. And then what I can do within that computer programming is a whole bunch of different cool statistics. So this is just a random name that I found, Flyers fan, in all games. And I mean, I haven't even done sorting. I mean, I should be just like this, just quickly do this for now, put the center in. So this is just new. This does not include yesterday's data, and I lost yesterday, so my stats aren't quite as good, but they're going to be good throughout this season. So for me, I put in statistics. Now, why would I use these statistics? Because 1, I'm a standings freak. 2, if I'm trying to see, there's a player who wants to challenge me to a big game of some sort even, I can actually see if they played these games, statistically speaking, how they've done. So I put in score type. I put in date, early, and late, so I could look at a range of dates. So 113, that was the start of this season. I just put 999 for everything. And especially in a season with a calendar year like this, it works out perfect if it starts in January. And then it calculates the lineup. So if I change this to, say, 115, the lineups will go down from 182 to 77. And since game 77, my score, I haven't done as good. and then 1/13. So this should be my percentage gain, which is technically an oxymoron because I think I actually did amazing. Actually, my biggest win was on the 16th. So just keep that in mind. So it's, meaning, okay, this just gives you a general idea. I could mathematically want to put more programming and give you the exact number, but I didn't want to do that. How many lineups I play, what my score is, 136. And then this is just miscellaneous stats I need for later. How often I finish in the top 1%? I've done so 3.3% of the time, which is well more than average. The average person does 1%. 17.5 and 34.2. If it's that of a good score, or let's just do neutral score. So my overall score is 89. I need capital X on here because unfortunately this is case sensitive. 95.25 is my score if I grade it neutral. If I grade it good, it's 182. This should be a return on percentage. The worst score you can be is minus 100. And my worst score is minus 65. I finished second place in the regular season when I did this last year, first place in the playoffs last year. I plan on finishing first. Puck Pilot finished first last year. Do you even meta? Well, him and me are the only ones that play every lineup. Participation, 100%. Score, we're at the top. These are people with more than 60 lineups. And it's not too... And it's just fun to do. Gives me the standings, and also I can see if anyone else is doing well. What are you doing to? It's like, do you think? Like, I look at my like the top players in a sport. Do you think the top 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in the industry look at how each other are playing? Well, I guess I'm doing that. So in conclusion, spreadsheets are something that I enjoy, but I mean, I'm good at doing stuff like that, but there's just so many things that I can't do. And did I say at the start of the video why I'm so good at so bad at spreadsheets? And then I did the whole flaw thing to start. I didn't even... Well, I wanted to explain to you why I'm so good and bad, but I think I've already explained it. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a good day. Bye-bye.